Bowel is caught between the fist and the back of the abdomen, so it can stop functioning for a few days, yes.
Doctors Gillis and Nelson also believe the baby had two separate blood clots on the surface of the brain, an older and a newer one. You're drawing a picture, Dr. Gillis, of a child who was serially abused.
I am.
A conclusion that even Dr. Newberger, who testified for the prosecution, concedes might be true.
Well, with regard to the serial abuse, I think that indeed this is possible.
And he adds,
and it is possible, it seems to me, that there are additional injuries to those that were brought out at the trial.
There was no old injury in this. But if there were, it was not the fatal injury, and that's the key point. Pattern or no, that injury that killed Matthew Eapen was delivered to him within hours, and we would have shown that this was a pattern by a caretaker. He was killed that day.
The prosecution did know that Matthew had suffered a previous wrist fracture of unknown origin, estimated to have occurred anywhere from 2 weeks to 2 months before he died. So to sum up, the prosecutors were wrong about the cause of death.
That's correct.
Prosecutors were wrong about when the fatal injuries could have occurred.
That's correct.
Prosecutors were wrong about the number of serious injuries inflicted on this child.
That is correct.
And this was one of the most publicized, scrutinized baby killings. How could these mistakes have taken place, Dr. Gillis?
Well, I think there's a tendency in people to find what they expect to find, Mr. Wallace.
That is not correct.
What's not correct about it?
That the prosecutors were wrong about what happened, that she was mistakenly charged, that the cause of death was not the cause of death testified to at trial by the medical examiner and by my colleagues and me.
What would you like to happen now?
Well, I'd like the evidence to emerge that I didn't do this, to prove to people that I didn't do it, and to prove that what I said all along is true.
Every time that I read in newspapers or hear on television, people refer to Louise Woodward as the convicted baby killer. I have to tell you, it rankles.
I get the feeling, Mr. Scheck, that maybe you feel that somehow you let Louise Woodward down.
Actually, I don't feel that way. But I also know from experience that you can always learn more. You can always find out more, particularly in the very, very short time frames you have to try a criminal case like this. She shouldn't have even been arrested. It was a rush to judgment. But beyond that, don't we have to find out what really happened if we can? And so in that effort, I would never hesitate to take any kind of responsibility, any kind of mea culpa. It doesn't matter to me. Let's get to the truth.
Frankly, if Dr. Gillis and his
Dr.
Nelson want to provide to defense counsel the theory that they believe the baby was strangled and give them an affidavit, and they wish to go to the court to provide that, then there's a forum for that.
We will go back to court if your experts will just say in sworn affidavits what they've said here on television. And we'll go back to court and we'll ask to have a true scientific reinvestigation of what evidence still exists. We're not afraid of it. We want it.